Hey guys, how's it going? I am here this morning with Shawn and his face to do a video that was actually requested probably a month or two ago.
Yeah, a little while ago.
Yeah.
A little busy.
Yeah, just it's been a little crazy around here, which I think I mentioned in another video. So I'll get to that here. When I did our Nissan Envy video, somebody had noticed a Jeep in the background and wanted a video on that. I thought, well, why not? Problem was, it's what our oldest daughter drives to work typically. So it's been a little tricky to find a day that wasn't sweltering hot when he was home, when she was home, and when I was available to help with it. So today's that day. Finally! Yay!
High 69 today.
Oh, it is
slightly overcast.
Gorgeous. Guys, we're in the middle of July. And tomorrow's actually supposed to be, what, 66?
Yeah.
It's crazy, which I'm going to put this out there timeline-wise. And it may or may not make a difference to anybody. I mean, you guys already know that we're in the Black Hills, so I'm not disclosing anything that way. But this weekend is Hills Alive, which is a free Christian concert that takes place in Rapid City. And yeah, we're in the 60s for that. Normally it's either downpouring rain or everybody is just like dripping sweat and getting sunburns. So it's a gorgeous weekend for it. So we're actually going to get this video done first. And then a couple people have plans later today to go in. But one thing when we're doing this video, it was also perfect timing because he was coming out to work on it because he's getting ready to replace the blower motor, which we're going to do a separate video for. So if you need to know how to change out a blower motor, I will actually include the link when we have that available down in the description box below, because that's going to go on his channel. Car repair videos, not really my thing. And I'll show the cars. I show things. I review things. He fixes things.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well.
Sometimes I break them worse.
And he's just now working on getting into putting videos up on his own channel. So we'll give him a shout out. So let's take a look at our 96 Jeep Cherokee.
Classic.
So that's what it is. Really quick backstory. I was going to do this while we were looking at, but I'll just say it right now. Yeah. We are the second owners of this vehicle. It was actually purchased from somebody I knew from high school. It was her dad's vehicle. It was the first thing she learned to drive in when we were in high school. And they've had it all these years, and it just sat for a couple of years. They decided it was time to finally sell it, and then they cut us a really good deal on it because they knew how much our daughter had available, because we had planned to buy a different car that fell through. They kind of sold it out from under us.
Yep.
So it wasn't a very good deal, and so they kind of took pity on us and cut us a really good deal on this. And then we've had to do just a little bit of work to it, which he'll show you as we look through it.
So she's making me stand and show everything. The 96 Jeep Cherokee Classic Sport Edition.
Sport Edition.
With the 4.0, if you can see that in there.
Yep, I've got it in there.
So that's the high output. It's a straight 6-cylinder, but it's one of the best motors Jeep made. It's built like a tank, from what I've been told. So, yeah.
And you know, after this video, we're going to get a request for your Chevelle. Right there.
It's possible.
So maybe we'll have to go ahead and do that one today just so we have it ready, since it's the right day to do these.
You guys can look at the taillights, and if you're a Chevelle person, you can figure out what year it is. If you're not a Chevelle person, you can look up on Google until you see the video.
So put a guess down in the comments below and see if you can guess right. All right, go ahead and show us the Jeep.
So here we have a missing door panel. Classic. Just because I wanted to get at things, because it wasn't opening and closing right. It was sticky and the lock wouldn't work right, and if you pulled the door handle, it would just not always unlock or whatever. So got at that to lube everything up.
So has she been driving it with the door panel off?
Yes. Yep, she can pull it shut right here, and she can open it with the, it's actually down here. This one right here opens it easy enough. So until I fix everything.
So we are the parents who send our children to work in a vehicle like this.
But it had working AC, but the blower motor has been going out. It works on and off. It squeals, it stops working. it squeals again when it starts working. Sometimes it works perfectly fine, so I'm going to replace that in a different video, as we said.
And in the meantime, really quick, we're not mean. She's driving the little car right there.
2001 Chrysler LHS.
LHS.
110,000 miles. Grandma owned it, and she took pristine care of it. So
yep,
it's like it's new almost. Even when she drives it, she says, "Oh wow, I barely have to move the steering wheel. It rides so smooth. I barely have to touch the brakes for it to stop."
It also tells you how the Jeep drives.
Drives like a Jeep. Who has 191,000 miles on it.
So this thing's seen a little bit of road.
Yep. We did take the interior out along with the carpet and everything, and we actually have our own carpet shampooer, so I shampooed the carpet and all the seats to clean it up. Part of the reason why I did that was because when we were cleaning it out, we noticed several peanut shells in there, and our son Blake and daughter Taya both have peanut allergies. So I wanted to make sure that everything was super clean if they ever got a chance to ride in here.
And hopefully you guys were able to catch all of that. I'm sorry if the sound is going to be a little up and down on this. I'm not actually used to recording someone else. So I just realized I kind of stuck my phone in the Jeep to show the back seat while he was mentioning that there were peanuts in here. And that's an allergy risk for 2 of our kids. I was trying to show how clean. I mean, think about this, guys. This is a 96, and these are the original seats. So yeah, there's still some staining. That one a little bit more so, but like this driver's seat, I mean, seriously.
And I
did
used
a really good job.
What's called as orange cleaner. It's a natural cleaner out there that I put in the carpet shampooer. It's supposed to kill mold and anything, and it works really good as a cleaner, and plus it makes it smell fresh. What else? It is a 4-wheel drive, obviously, which we like. It does not have a CD player. She keeps complaining about not having music to listen to, but
not only does it not have a CD player, it doesn't seem to have a radio, period.
Right. No radio, no CD player. So what else did I do? I lubed up all the hinges and locks. Some of these have access spots that you can get at, which is kind of neat for Jeeps. It's also for removing the handles, but you can lube things in different areas through these holes to get them working properly, because it had been sitting for a couple of years, so all the locks didn't work properly.
Well, and the hood on it didn't even latch, right?
Yep. So same thing with this one. The plug is on this side to get at different bolts. Actually, no, that one does not go to anything.
Guys, he's lying to you as we're recording.
So
we replaced the tires on it.
yep, I found a decent used set of wheels and tires that had different rims and tires on it that, you know, it had been sitting for a couple of years and they were pretty much bald, so when you drove down over 40 miles an hour, the whole steering wheel would shake. So I know a junkyard out here where I know the guys and got a good deal on the wheels and tires, and definitely made a world of difference on how it looks too, having a newer set of wheels on it. Off of I think this was off of a 2003 Jeep or 2001 Jeep Cherokee, the wheels were. Yeah, the hood didn't work properly. It wouldn't close, so I had to lube the hinge up on it. Which all that stuff is right here for one side and right here. When you pull on the, you know, the hood release inside, this is the cable that goes to it. You had to lube this up too. This is what was sticking too. As you can see, there's a lot of rust on it, but works pretty good now. Little WD-40. This is your 4.0 high output motor. Yeah, I don't know what all. I put a new air filter in as usual. I did all the spark plug wires, spark plugs, new distributor cap, new rotor, because it was running really rough. So most older vehicles, when I get them, I just do a full tune-up on them. and ordered all that stuff offline through Amazon.
So tell everybody who's considering buying an older vehicle, how hard would it be for somebody with no mechanical experience to do a quick tune-up like all of that?
Not too difficult. If you're somewhat mechanically inclined, you can do it as long as you're really careful. The hardest part with changing out spark plug wires is you want to make sure that you have the cap and everything marked where each wire goes back on the distributor cap, because if you screw that order up, it will not start when you're done. And then you'll have to refer to the owner's manual and figure out the right firing order, because each spark plug is, I can't remember at the moment which way it goes, if it's front to back or back to front, but if it goes 1, 2, or 2, 4, 5, 6.
But if it doesn't fire up in order,
but there's
it
a
just
certain
doesn't
order
work.
it's got to be in for it to fire up. So as you're doing spark plug wire replacement, you typically want to try to do them one at a time if you can. So you pull one off, match it up to the right length of the one that you got in your box, and replace that one, and then pull the next one off. That way you can keep them in order. And then if you're doing the plugs, you can do those. Usually those are pretty easy to do too. Ratchet, extension, and the right size socket.
And YouTube videos.
And YouTube videos. Definitely. Had to do a new battery in this one. Otherwise, it is an AC unit. As far as the blower motor goes, that'll be in another video, but that is down below here. This is the AC unit. This is a 96. On 97s, I found out they moved the AC unit right here, and I think it's a different size reservoir that's sitting right there. So you actually have to take the reservoir out, and then you actually have to take the AC unit to a dealership and have them decompress the air out of it, all the AC, so you can remove the AC unit to get at the blower motor. That sucks. Well, they didn't do that on this one. You just gotta remove the washer fluid reservoir, and then you can get at the blower motor. So that'll be a lot easier.
That'll be a little project, and that's not something that, typically if you buy an older car, you're always going to have to do. And some of this is just maintenance that he does on his own. Buying an older vehicle does not have to be scary, though, as far as just doing a tune-up. The battery did have to be replaced, and he, unfortunately, learned a small battery lesson that day, too.
I forgot. What was it?
The battery acid burns through things.
Oh, yeah, pants, because I ended up
dropping it.
The old battery I put in my van, and it was by the side door, and I went to open up my van, and it slid out right away before I could grab it, and landed on the top corner and splashed battery acid, and I didn't think it got anywhere, but it landed on my pants, which later on it had eaten through several holes in my pants. So those are now ruined.
He didn't know it got on him, and he didn't know he needed to get it off of him right away.
Because I didn't know it was on me.
And we should almost take a snap picture of your pants. And
I think I might have tossed them already.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, then never mind. You guys don't get to see what battery acid does to denim.
But then I had to buy a whole new battery, because that battery was cracked on the top, and they wouldn't warranty it because it was still under a slight warranty. So I would have had with Walmart, because it was a Walmart battery. They would have gave me a slight discount because it was still within a certain amount of days of the warranty. But instead I had to just go buy a whole new one. So, yeah.
All right. So, he's got all of his tools and stuff down here ready to work on that blower motor.
Tools.
Show this side of the Jeep.
There. The license plate's covered. You can see South Dakota.
Actually,
you already know that.
I have it lifted up just enough that all I see is the window. So you're just covering it for your sake.
The rear wiper blade isn't on there. I grabbed one when I was at the junkyard to replace it, but it ended up being the wrong one. So I still have to find the right one for it. And I did find new spring hinges for this, but again, I think those are actually the wrong year, because every time this one opens, it actually pops off and I can't get it to stay on there. So if you open it slowly, it's fine, but if you just let it whip open, this pops off and drops. Because I think it was the wrong year Jeep that I grabbed it out of. So those are kind of specific too sometimes. There's a door panel.
So we still have it.
Which that was cleaned up too. I took the orange cleaner to that too. And that came pretty clean. I did not shampoo the back here with the carpet. That was the only thing I didn't do. So you can kind of see, you know, the back's used. Every vehicle has a back. It still has the original jack for Jeeps that came stock with it. 96. The original hand crank for the jack that you stick right in there to crank it up with. And then your handy dandy lug wrench to take the lugs off.
I don't know, I'm an old school tire iron girl myself.
And here's the wiper that I grabbed that doesn't fit.
And the traffic cones used to teach parallel parking.
Yes, which I found out she did not need to learn, but I made her learn how to do it anyways.
It's a good skill. And all of our children will learn how to do it, even if they don't test them.
She said, when am I ever going to use this? I won't park anywhere where I need to. Well, it's good to know.
And there's actually several places around town where you can use it, including at the DMV. Haha.
Oh yes, and your original 1996
Donut.
spare tire donut. And then the other thing I did do is the fuel filter I replaced, which is actually down on the frame behind this wheel. You can't see it, but if she gives me the camera, you can come down here and look. So this right here is your fuel filter that I replaced. The other one was quite rusty. As you can see, there is some rust under here.
I'm sure that's a great angle.
She'll probably delete that.
We'll see. I mean, anybody watching should know that camera angles can do a lot.
And yeah, anything else you can leave in the comments and we can try and answer later.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 96, so you know the hood is going to have some marks on it.
Oh, one other thing that I thought about, we did have to replace the windshield too.
So it is solid now. And you know, of course, the Batman steering wheel cover.
Yes. Other thing is the daughter nicknamed it Benji.
Okay.
And that is due to the hood not latching properly when I brought it home. I actually had a bungee cord down through there to help keep it while I drove it home. And she saw that and thought of Benji right away.
Benji, the bungee cord Jeep.
Apparently. So, Benji is its name.
Yep. Actually, I think this is our only vehicle that actually has a name.
Yeah, it is. And because our oldest 17-year-old daughter named it.
Yeah.
And we went with it.
Yeah, we didn't fight her because it made sense. And it works.
So, yeah.
He just mentioned that he did also do the rear brakes too. This is what happens when he can see himself on the screen.
Get distracted.
The sun keeps like wanting to come out more and more, so I'm sorry if I'm squinting too much.
And you can't tell that I'm taller than her, can you?
All right, anyhow, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. I hope for anybody who was curious about some of our other vehicles that this answered a couple questions. We have a lot of cars in our driveway. I mean, truth be told, we do. And my nose keeps itching and the sun keeps getting brighter. So if you didn't catch it in this one, we have the Jeep. we have the Chrysler, we have the Chevelle, we have an Impala sitting there. That's the white thing in the background, and there's little sweat bees all over the place trying to get us. We have the Envy.
Just her, not me.
We have the Envy, and then we have his work van. So, and they all fit in our driveway, and we actually have room for more vehicles.
Yeah, at least 2 more.
Yeah. Potentially 3. We could fit 3 more in the driveway.
Yeah. Well, we could start parking in the grass too over here.
Yeah. Well,
we can bring in a load of gravel and have a gravel pad next to it. And we can fit about probably 5 more cars.
He's been talking about that. But in the driveway itself, we could probably do 3 more if we wanted to. Anyhow, I hope this answered any questions you guys had. If you have any more about this or any other vehicles, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. As you may know, I do get back to things as quickly as I can, and I do try to do these videos. I try to respond to things, and if there's a request that we can fulfill, why not do it? Which means that I do have another video coming up soon on how to work the oven, the GE Slate oven. It was actually a request somebody had. Which for some of us, you know, it may not make a ton of sense, but, you know, somebody doesn't know. And so why not show them how? So I will have that coming up here soon. I'm going to sign off on here and then let him do the blower motor video that he wants to do.
Scary.
And then, those bees. He's laughing at me.
Well, I said scary, and then you're like, those bees.
Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to get out of here. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything coming up next, and we will see you in the next one.